This lesson, how does transparency drive accountability, has transformed our whole business. We had a client who asked a very simple question that had a profound effect. They simply said, your workshop has helped our people get clarity on what they have to execute. And the way they got that was that everyone wrote a 90-day plan. So the question we were asked is, how can we get transparency on this? Our client didn't want 400 90-day plans. So we built a system to help people get transparency on everyone's progression. Now that system's called X-Ray, and essentially what it does is bring complete transparency to what the organisation said they're going to execute and what every single individual has committed to executing and how they're progressing. That's probably been the most powerful lesson we've learned about execution in the last 10 years. I personally learned a valuable lesson about transparency the hard way as a junior fighter pilot. What had happened was in my squadron, cracks were appearing in the wings of our F-18s. Now we didn't know this, but the head engineer of the fighter force told our squadron, you're the roughest in the whole fighter force. And he told me in particular, I was one of 16 pilots, Martin West, Westy, you are the roughest out of all the pilots. He then went away, and for the next 12 months, I had my manager or my supervisor remind me, be smooth, don't be rough, which I kind of listened to, and I think I kind of ignored as well because I had some good flying results. 12 months later, almost to the day, the head engineer reappeared at our squadron and showed an overhead transparency with every pilot's name on it and a graph showing how rough they'd been the previous day. My name was somewhere down the middle, but my score was off the end of the chart. Smooth being there, rough being here. So when I saw that, I felt embarrassed, a little angry. I didn't want him to show it again, and I was thankful when he left. I didn't hear him say, I'm going to come back tomorrow and every day this week to show you how you've performed the previous day. So the next day, Tuesday, he arrived. My buddies heard that he was coming back, and of course, all their scores had shrunk. Mine had actually increased. So I'm sitting there in front of the 110 maintainers of our aircraft, the head engineer who's told us I'm the roughest pilot. And what have I done? I've actually become rougher. He told me he was coming back the next day. That night, I had an internal mental dilemma. How do I solve this? I got some friends together and basically said, how can I do this better? They looked at my flying, my tapes, and told me, when you're flying, Westy, and flying back to the base, just take your hand off the control column, point the aircraft at the base, and stop being so rough. So I changed some things. On the third day, the Wednesday, I'd reduced my score by half. Now the point was this, 1 year of coaching from my supervisor hadn't moved my behaviour one bit. One day of making transparent what I was actually doing got a radical shift in my performance overnight. Transparency definitely drives a change in behaviour.